Sandy Flexen here for Seconds Out with cruiserweight Chris Billam Smith. This Saturday night, you take on Robin Dupre in what is your biggest fight to date. How have preparations been going? Typical cliched opening question.
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, I was in camp slightly earlier because I was in sparring George for the beginning of his sparring. So that helped me get ready, and it's been really good. Obviously, getting that many rounds. I know probably over 100 rounds with George this camp, so I've learnt so much. And and just really felt like I've improved. Shane's really happy with the improvements I've made as well. So it's been also a cliche, but it's been the best camp to date.
You spent over 100 rounds with George Groves. Didn't go his way on the night, unfortunately. As someone who'd spent so much time working closely with him, did that hit you harder than the rest of the camp, would you think?
Potentially, yeah, potentially. I mean, I've been a fan of George's for years anyway, so and we've become friends in camp, obviously, and stuff. It was a hard one to take, and watching it from home, just me and my missus there. So yeah, it was hard to take, especially as the way it ended more than anything. I've hit George with body shots every time we've sparred, and he's always said like he just doesn't feel body shots, and he admitted that on the night. So yeah, it's a tough one to take, but you know, he gave his best on the night, and it wasn't enough. But it's his decision now to see what he does next.
What makes Robin Dupre the toughest opponent you faced as a pro so far?
He's got a winner's mentality. Obviously, the last guy I boxed was Michael Plesnik. He had a winning record, but he's got that, and he came to win. But I'd say Robin Dupre's slicker. He's more experienced as a pro. Obviously, Robin's only lost the once to Luke Watkins for the Commonwealth title, so he's had more fights, more wins than any of my previous opponents. So and he's awkward. He's an awkward lad, and he can box. So it's more of a thinking fight than my last one. The last one was a bit more gritty across the 8 rounds and stuff. But yeah, so it's going to be. I think it'll be more of a thinking fight.
A lot of people who've criticised Robin Dupre in the past, it's been mainly centred on his physique, that he looks a bit fleshy for the weight, that maybe he could make a lower weight, and he's got his reasons for that. But do you buy into any of that, and have you heard much of that?
Obviously, I've heard, but I also read the article that you did with him. I thought it was a really interesting article, really good article, and yeah, it's nothing to do with. I can't read into that and go, oh well, that's it. Then I've won the fight. It's don't work like that. This is boxing. You can't take anyone lightly. I did it once before as an amateur and never did it again. So yeah, certainly, you know, he's like I said, he's the toughest test yet. So definitely won't be taking him lightly and or buying into anything else that other people say.
As you kindly complimented the article, and I'll take any opportunity for self-promotion, I appreciate it. I was actually going to encourage you on Twitter not to read it, because I wondered how it would affect you reading kind of a sympathetic story about your opponent before having to go in and punch lumps out of him. I'm guessing you're the sort of guy who doesn't take too much to heart with that sort of thing.
You know, it was heartfelt, but I've still got a job to do, and on Saturday, and I'll focus on doing my job. And then I could be sympathetic and friends with Robin after, as I am with all my opponents. It's the hurt business, so it's a strange sport. It's hard to get that concept. So you know, I'm just focused on doing my job at the moment. Yeah, and then after Saturday night, after I get the win, then I can show some sympathy or empathy and yeah, afterwards.
Big show, terrestrial TV, your biggest fight to date. How important is it to you personally that you make a statement rather than simply get the win?
Obviously, win's first and foremost the most important thing. But yeah, I want to look good. Obviously, being being televised, and I've got a lot of support coming up. I've had as many people buy tickets for this show as I did for my last one back home. So the support's unbelievable. And yeah, I just want to put a good show on, as you do every time you box. I want to show my improvements, and I really feel like I have improved a lot this camp with the sparring with George, and just everything started to click in place. I've been here over a year now, training with Shane, so everything's starting to click. I feel much more comfortable, used to the workload that Shane puts on us. So yeah, obviously I want to just show all my skills off and perform Saturday night and put on a big performance in front of everyone there, and obviously everyone who's watching on TV.
Just before we let you go, for people out there that want to follow the Chris Billam Smith story, how can they follow you on the different social media platforms?
At Chris Billam on Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, follow along and tune in if you haven't got a ticket for Saturday night. Tune in on Channel 5 and 5 Spike.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time and best of luck, obviously, on Saturday.